I'm Tim Keene from the Kohler Center for Entrepreneurship at Marquette. I'm sorry I'm not able to be with you in person today, but I hope this brief video introduction to our entrepreneurial programs can be a discussion starter. My colleague, Dr. Peg Bernhardt, our Director of Outreach, with whom I work closely, is here today to discuss our programs with you, answer your questions, and provide more information. We are both glad to share our program concepts as well as our lessons learned with you. Please be sure and ask for more information. Our entrepreneurship efforts at Marquette go back a long way. More than 20 years ago, in 1986, the Coleman Foundation endowed a chair in entrepreneurship at Marquette. It's been held since 2000 by my colleague Alex Stewart. He's been responsible for the development of the undergraduate major in entrepreneurship, the original vision for the graduate programs, and for advocating for the development of our Angel Network, among many other programs. We were fortunate almost 10 years ago to receive a major gift from the Kohler Company to establish the Kohler Center for Entrepreneurship in the College of Business Administration. Today, it coordinates and teaches some of the entrepreneurship programs on campus, houses the business plan competition, coordinates the work of the task force, more on that in a minute, and provides support for the Marquette Angel Network. The idea of that Angel Network grew from a vision of connecting entrepreneurs with alumni, students, and friends of the university to enhance the experiences of each group. It was really a way to combine alumni outreach activities with both classroom education and connections for faculty and tech transfer and research and other things, as well as with students. That network, the Golden Angels, began in late 2002 with the help of the late Hans Severns, legendary founder of the Band of Angels in Silicon Valley. You know, one of the things I've learned over and over at Marquette is how generous people are when you ask them for help. Hans was certainly one of those. He came to Milwaukee and spent a week talking to a lot of audiences about the Angel experience and coaching all of us involved in its startup. From those early meetings, we gathered people together and the Angel Network began. Today, in addition to the network, we have an evolving ecosystem of programs and activities that includes an undergraduate major of more than 100 enrolled students, a graduate certificate program in entrepreneurship that can include graduate courses in specific fields of study, such as engineering or life sciences, in addition to a core offering of entrepreneurship coursework, 4 applied learning centers in entrepreneurship, real estate, supply chain management, and applied investment management, all skills essential for entrepreneurs in a variety of fields. A growing group of faculty engaged in commercialization projects, a business plan competition now in its 7th year, new entrepreneurship programs in science and engineering, a visiting entrepreneurs program to bring entrepreneurs to campus to meet faculty, students, and alumni and exchange ideas, an active student entrepreneurship organization, a master's forum held annually to highlight the insights of master entrepreneurs for a wide audience of community members, as well as students, faculty, and alumni, faculty commercialization programs to assist researchers with knowledge of technology transfer and new venture creation, an Office of Research and sponsored programs headed by an experienced commercialization professional, Kees Osterhaag, recently from Rutgers. I'd like to describe each of these a bit more fully in a moment, but first, let me make a few remarks about our most recent undertaking, an ambitious program to make entrepreneurial skills and experiences available to all of our students, graduate and undergraduate, as well as our faculty. This effort, which we call Cross-Campus Entrepreneurship, began in 2007. The university had convened small groups to think about our direction as an institution across a variety of dimensions. These discussions crystallized the idea that entrepreneurial skills would support one of the university's guiding principles, the idea of doing more for others to improve the world. We think exposure to entrepreneurial skills, innovation, bootstrapping, unrelenting resource management, and operational excellence, among others, are one more way to equip Marquette students to be able to effectively do more to improve their communities. In addition, the idea of making a real difference in the world by applying entrepreneurial skills in social enterprises, call it social entrepreneurship, resonates in these philosophical underpinnings. So starting with this premise, the university formed a task force of 13 faculty members from every college with the mission to recommend concrete, specific ways to bring entrepreneurial learning opportunities to students and faculty. In her remarks appointing the task force at the time, our then Provost Madeline Wake said, "We see students for 4 years, but the real question is, what will the next 50 to 75 years of their lives be like? They'll go through many careers and there will be a great demand for entrepreneurial thinking. Our challenge is building the capacity for leadership so that our graduates will be able to change the world for the better." The group met frequently, formulated goals, and began to map best practices. They traveled to many universities engaged in cross-campus entrepreneurship programs, primarily selected from the first round of Kauffman campuses. Those schools included the University of Illinois, Texas El Paso, ASU, Syracuse, Washington University in St. Louis, MIT, UNC, Georgetown, and Wake Forest. At the end of the 2007 academic year, the group produced a report that was subsequently accepted by the university and which has become the basis for our growing programs in the Kohler Center. It focused on a couple of core recommendations. The group felt strongly that this new program needed to be, first, supportive of colleges and faculty. They found many entrepreneurial champions on the Marquette campus and felt that this initiative would provide a way to connect them and their interests to each other, and that by providing significant support built on trust, collaboration, and a common set of goals, the initiative would be long-lasting and more effective. And second, action-oriented. Cross-campus success, we think, can best be accomplished by implementing rather than planning for change. We expected that this implementation would be progressive, building upon each success as it grows in sustainability, and involving a broad constituency of stakeholders to support these efforts. Each of these successes must be collaborative and built upon growing levels of trust. A program of the scope we envisioned has striking similarities to founding a new venture. Leaders must evaluate the market, identify team members in various colleges, pursue sustainable financial resources, implement a strategy, and make adjustments when necessary. So what does that mean in practical terms? In my view, it means that the way to grow new sustainable activities is to seed several, feed the ones that take root, and find ways to seed more. Our entrepreneurial ecosystem at Marquette is actually not organized. New ideas grow organically. If they're useful, then they'll last and grow and people will make them work. And if they're not, they wither and something new takes their place. It's a bit random and sometimes chaotic, but it causes a lot to happen working from a relatively small set of resources, and it involves lots of people. So the opportunity for success to have many parents is bigger, and you get more owners more quickly. So far, I'm happy to report it's working. One example of that is our recent faculty workshop on commercialization. We convened a group of successful university entrepreneurs from around the country, some angels, and some venture capital investors in a day-long series of panel discussions around their case histories. They included faculty from LSU, Wisconsin, and Stanford. We had more than 50 Marquette faculty in attendance, and we podcast all of the talks to reach a broader audience. We are big believers in on-demand learning delivery, by the way. When the entrepreneur wants information, it's the right time to deliver it. So we are using a variety of asynchronous tools from YouTube to podcasts to expand our ability to deliver wherever, whenever. Now, following that symposium, independent of further effort on the part of the center, the faculty and technology transfer people from several institutions are collaborating to see how they take individual research opportunities to new levels. They're leveraging this event to go in new and exciting directions. It's sort of the Johnny Appleseed principle. It demonstrates how some resources can be leveraged to make many more things happen to enable the nascent interests of people.